Welcome back to another episode of Bagged Milk. I'm your host, Brian Bridges, and this is where we take my fucking gum out. What a piece of shite. This is a podcast that's real as fuck. When we talk about anything. Anything goes here. You want to talk about it? We'll talk about it. But before we do, make sure you like, share, subscribe. This is a community. We got to stick it together. Before we get rolling, hit those buttons, smash them up. You know what to do. This is a podcast where we enjoy the conversations that are outside the norm. Having normal conversations, I'm sure is great. I'm sure you can build a lot of fucking awesome friendships, families, whatever the fuck you're doing. But here in Bag Milk, we like those off-the-cuff topics. Like, I don't know, butt play. Do you like butt play? Myself? Of course. I'm a sexual fucking fanatic. So, anything that feels good, I'm into. So, of course I'm into butt play. Why wouldn't I be? What kind of adult in 2020 doesn't like their butt touched? Oh, please don't tell me you're one of these fucking guys that thinks it's gay to get your butty hole, your little brown Cheerio touched. Don't touch it. I'll be gay. I'll start sucking dick as soon as you touch my butthole. I don't think it's how it works. I've touched my butthole many times. Many. A lot of them, I've done some things that I probably should be ashamed about. I was ashamed after I cummed. But during it, fantastic. But afterwards, yeah, I always feel a little ashamed. Fuck, I feel ashamed after just masturbating. Just fucking stroking the old weasel. And I'm like, as soon as I'm done, I'm like, oh, look at myself. You got cum all over yourself. You're a mess. Clean yourself up and go to bed. So, introducing things in your butt. Oh, the shame of it all. Especially in today's society where if you put things in your bum, you're a freak or you're probably gay. But like I said, I've touched my butt tons of times. I've never sucked a dick. Not once. Isn't that weird? I've never even really wanted to. Like, I'm sure as a kid you're like, oh, I like women, but what if? What if I'm wrong? And I'm like, no, I'm not wrong. I wasn't wrong. I was never wrong. Always fucking right. But the butt, man. Why? Why are you not touching it? It's like one of the most sensitive spots in your body, and you won't touch it? Because why? Someone's gonna make fun of you that isn't in your bedroom? That makes no sense that you be worried about what someone would think that's not even in your bedroom or putting fingers in your bum. I couldn't care less what someone thought about things going in my bum if they're not putting things in my bum. Couldn't care less. Why would I? Think about it. Fuck. Now, as much as I've tried putting things in my own bum, finger, whatever, it's my fucking finger. Wash it. That's what soap... Holy fucking computer. I hate this fucking thing. That's what soap and water's for. There's no viruses. Fuck off. Ugh. That's what soap and water's for. You don't, I don't put a finger in my bum and then give her a quick lick after. See what that tasted like. But it's been there. We shooken hands? That's got some poop fingers on it. That's okay. Every hand you've ever shaken has probably had a dick in it at some point. Every guy has had his fucking dick in his hand. So every guy you've ever shaken hands with, you've shaken dick hands. Now you shaking my hands? Probably poop fingers too. That's fine. Let's fucking shake it up. Let's fucking get brown eye together. It's all good, buddy. Can't be worrying about what people think outside your own home. I couldn't care less. Like, also, this is fucking, okay. Girls, I didn't know. You were like, everyone shits on girls. They're like, they can't give hand jobs. They can't give blow jobs, scraping their teeth. They don't know what they're doing. You don't know the rhythm. Fucking some girls, they'll grab at the base of the cack. They grab at the base and they'll try to fucking pull that skin up. What the fuck are you doing? That is attached to my body. That hurts. There is a fine line where you grab. And you don't want to pull too much skin up and you don't want to pull too much skin down. Now this is for obviously all the guys. You know this. You know there's a sweet spot. And if the girl doesn't grab the sweet spot, you know that's going to be a shitty hand job. You know it. Right off the bat. She grabs a little too low, and then fucking when she pulls down, it yanks on the top skin. It fucking pulls too far down. It's like there's a regulator there. There's limit breaks. You know what I mean? You can't go too far up, and you can't go too far down. If you're hitting the bottom and you're hitting the top resistance, too far. Too far. You don't pull to the max and you don't drop to the max. It's in between. It's just in between. Figure it out, ladies. Like, fuck. You never watch a porno? Or, like, read a magazine? Man, when I was 16 years old, I was ordering books on how to fucking do massages, eat pussy, everything. I was like, if this is the way to get ladies, I'm going to be the best at it. And I started early. I was like, fuck this. I'm going to be fucking champion. And I do okay. I do all right. Sometimes it's just for me, though. Sometimes it's just for me. But now listen. Girls that can't give fucking hand jobs and blowjobs, you got a secret weapon. I got something in my eye. I can see it, but I can't get it. But anyway, I guess we'll just do a podcast with something in my eye bugging me the whole time. It's real sweet. Now, girls, listen. You have a secret weapon in your arsenal. You can't jerk off. You can't get blowjobs, which is weird because, well, that just goes back to jerking off. If you can't jerk off, you can't give a blowjob because a blowjob is just jerking off and then you added your mouth to it and you're slopping all over the head. That's it. Just slide down. You got to keep same motion. That's the trick. If your hand and your fucking mouth are in different motions, you fucked up. You done fucked up already. Here's a tip for you. If you're going up and your hand's coming down, just fucking keep it together. Almost lock them. Lock your hand to your mouth and fuck off. You don't have to use your whole hand either. Well, sometimes. If it's slippery, you can use your whole hand. But if it's dry, just a couple fingers. Wrap her around. That's all you need. Just grip then. But slippery, you let her slide, whatever. Hold hands. But you still can't. I don't know. I can give you all the directions in the world. It's not the same because it's just not natural for you guys. And that's cool. I get it. But you have a secret weapon in your bag. You didn't even know. Not many of you girls will ever even pull it out. In my lifetime, I've tried to get many girls. Only so many will do it. Girls, women, ladies, they've been doing it their whole life. They know how to finger. Fucking yeah. Fuck yeah, they know how to finger. So, the amount of things I put in my butt. You would think I would have this perfected. I'm not good at it. I am not good at it. I imagine it's like what a girl, when she's trying to give a blowjob, that's what it feels like when I try to touch my own butt, which is weird because you would think I would know my own butt. But, a lot of butts here. A lot of butts in this episode. This is the butt episode. What's weird is I just can't, it's not familiar to me. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, where is everything? The pressure? I don't know, man. But I don't know. But for some reason, one night, fantastic. I think I had the best orgasm of my life that night. And I've been chasing it ever since. It's like a crack dragon. Once you get that big rush. Now, what? Now, that's the best rush I ever had. Now what? Now nothing else is going to taste the same. Nothing. Life's meaningless. And that's what it was for this night. We got all, me and Danny, actually, we got all fucked up, drinking. This is ages ago now. Danny hasn't fucking had a drink in I don't know how long. She's not any fun anymore. Now she drinks, apparently not with me. No, I don't even drink that much, so I can see why. She doesn't do much of anything. She's a fucking party pooper. I'm an animal, and I can't expect everyone to be animals with me, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, we got drinked. We got so drinked that I don't even know what happened. The sex was fantastic, and I don't know what if I coaxed it or what happened, but somehow I ended up with fingers in my butt. Whoo! And I'm telling you, buddy, I'm telling you, those women, they may not be able to jerk off and they may not be able to suck a dick, but what they can do is fucking finger, buddy. Woo! The best. The best orgasm I think I've ever had in my life. Blowy, fingers in my butt. I don't know what she was doing. Magic is all I know, because I've had my fingers in there many times and I haven't found those buttons. Where the fuck are they? It's like she knew the cheat code. It's like, oh, she's just up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start. I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm like, erupting like a fucking, like Mount Vesuvius. Is Mount Vesuvius a fucking volcano? I don't even know. I just say words sometimes. Words are words. They're just things that go together. They're like a puzzle. They're like a 1,000-piece puzzle. You just throw on a fucking table, and it doesn't even matter. Just jam the pieces together. Who gives a fuck, man? And at the end, it's still a picture. It's not the one that was on the box, but whatever. Still a picture. What do you want? It's art, bro. It's art. That's what the words are. That's what I deliver here is art. I'm basically a painter of words. I throw the words on the canvas, and then I move them around, and that's it. But it's the same words every time. I used these words probably on the last podcast, but this is a different podcast. Whoa. How is that possible? Words are magic, man. Magic man. You can call me the magic man. Whew. Painting. I'm a painter. I'm a magician. I'm a butt expert. Fuck, buddy. What more do you want? This is bagged milk, and you got all these experts. You got other people having guests every week. What do I need those for? I'm the expert. Fuck the guests. Bring it to me. I know what's up. You want to know about butts? I'll tell you about butts. I'll tell you the dirty details. No one else is talking like butts like I talk about butts. Nobody. You find someone else that talks about butts the way I talk about butts, and you listen to them because they're fucking awesome. But there's nobody else. There's nobody else. You got bagged milk. You got come here for all this super, super important information. I'll tell you that, buddy. I'll tell you that. If this was this is a trusted, credible news source. You know, you can fuck CBC. You can go fuck yourself, Global. CTV? Joke. Bagged milk is where you should be receiving all your news. It's super credible, actually. I check all my sources. I don't make any of it up. And, yeah. Fuck, I'm good. We're basically changing the podcast game as we go, really. When you think about it, we're just cranking it up a notch. Everyone else is laying low and playing it safe. Bag milk? I don't even know what safe is. I can't spell safe. I can't spell a lot of words. Yeah, I can. I can spell a lot of words. But I can't spell safe. Safe. C? No. I'm not even going to try, man. Cold tea's the best. This is fan-fucking-tastic, this tea. I can't remember the flavor. Maple syrup treat? Is that it? Maple syrup oolong. That's what it was. Maple syrup oolong from David's Tea. Oh, my fuck. I thought yesterday's tea was fantastic. Yesterday's tea, I got a shit ton of David's Tea. Check it out on my Instagram if you want to check all the flavors. Bagged Milk Podcast Instagram. But I got a shipment of David's Tea, and oh my god, I'm hooked. I'm so fucking hooked. I've always loved David's Tea, but if you're drinking tea and you're like, I just like Earl Grey, and I just get the bag Tetley, okay, that's fine. If you just like black, plain Earl Grey tea, that is absolutely fine. I'm proud to be in a club of tea drinkers, but if you drink black Earl Grey tea, nothing else, breakfast tea, whatever, and it's in a shitty pre-packaged bag of dust, that is not tea, my friend. That is not tea. That is just tea shake. You know how when you ever buy drugs? Of course you buy drugs. You're listening to Bag Milk. Fucking stupid question. So when you buy drugs, weed's not really a drug. When you buy weed, you buy the bud, and then say if you bought a lot of it, even like a general amount, by the time you get to the bottom of your bag, you get all that leftover shit. It's like, it'll smoke, but it's not as good as the bud, right? It just kind of shook off. It's all dried up and just flaked the fucking powder. That's the tea you're drinking. That's It's the leftover shit. So when these high-end companies, I'm not saying high-end, David's tea may not be high-end, but it's a little more. So some of these higher-end companies that make full loose leaf tea, then all the dust that settles on the fucking floor, some fucking Filipino comes sweeping it up into a dustpan, and there's your Tetley Earl Grey tea. Hey, bud, don't. You treat yourself better. You deserve better. Come on. Drink good tea. If you're going to drink tea, drink good tea, okay? Tea is actually so beneficial for you. It's not just the flavor. I feel like if you're drinking water, fantastic. You're at a great start. But water is a fucking fantastic delivery system. That's the start of it. So add shit to it. Add good shit. Don't add sugar shit. So when you add tea, the real tea, loose leaf tea, with all the full flowers and full herbs and berries or whatever, you're going to get way more benefits than the shit that fell on the fucking floor. And Carol Burnett comes in at the end of the episode and sweeps it up into a dustpan for you. That is fucked. Why would you do that to yourself? Especially how much they charge you. Like, I'll probably pay maybe an extra $1 a box, maybe $2 for full loose leaf tea. And you're paying for shit. You're paying for shake. You're paying for the shitty weed that you can't even sell. You guys used to have garbage bags full of shake of weed. And you'd be like, hey man, you want this garbage bag full of shake? And you'd be like, no. Give me a bud for $20. They'd be like, but you could have this garbage bag. No. It's just a waste of my fucking time, bud. I'm going to have to smoke this whole garbage bag. Well, not just, not really. But you know what I mean? That's the way it is with shitty bag tea. You're not getting the full flavor. You might get high, but you got to drink way more to get the benefits. So you're not getting really, I would assume, not as much benefits. Well, what the fuck do I know? I'm not a fucking doctor. Am I a doctor? Have I been so fucking high for so long that I'm now a doctor? Oh, fuck. Nope. No diplomas. I just had to do a quick scan of the room. Sometimes I go out and I come back in and I'm like, oh, I'm a doctor now. That happens. That happens to a lot of people. You get some of these women, even, they go for a poop and they have a baby. And they don't even remember having sex, let alone being pregnant for 9 months. How was I pregnant for 9 months? I just had a baby. You would think I would know I was pregnant for 9 months. Not these women. These women, special. I've seen those shows. Have you ever seen them? Man, I always question those fucking things. Like, I swear some of these bitches, okay, are crackheads. That's just simple. Let's chalk a lot of them up just being crackheads. And they don't give a fuck that they're pregnant. That's not going to slow them down. So when the shit happens, it's all denial in their head. Nope. You missing your period for the last 6 months. Nope. But you really fat? Nope. A lot of weird cravings. Nope. Feel stuff rolling in your belly. Fucking need more drugs. And then when baby happens, you're like, oh my God. Oh, it's a miracle. I had no idea I was doing heroin the whole time, and I had no idea. Oh my God, get the welfare and get this baby out of my sight. I need to go get drugs. There's gotta be, like, fucking no way. This is, the baby moves. The baby moves. If I get an air bubble of fucking gas over on this side, I can feel it. I can feel if that air bubble moves from here to here, couple inches. You're telling me you can't feel? I get it. You're cracked up. The baby's going to be small. So you can't feel even a 3-pound baby doing somersaults in there? A 3-pound baby. Half a bag of sugar? And you can't feel that fucking baby doing somersaults? Girl, who are you kidding? Come on. I feel like that show was a crock of shit, man. Maybe. I see over and over so many babies going in the toilet. Like, come on. I get it. Some people feel like they're constipated, but for 9 months? And you're pooping the whole time? Come on. You're ridiculous. I just can't see shit like that happening. Like, I know people, like even the tumors, people getting tumors. I could see that happening before fucking having a baby 9 months. Because you get fat for 9 months, you're like, I'm fat. But tumors don't roll. They don't move. You know what I mean? I've had some friends lately had some tumors removed. Big motherfuckers. Couple friends, actually. It's fucking tumor season. Tumor season. COVID season and tumor season. And you gotta watch out. So, yeah, I could see that. That happens. People just get fat. And now they got tumors released. I had one in even school, the size of a basketball, a new girl. And she was skinny. And then she just had a big belly all the time. And you're like, okay, maybe she's got a little punch. Maybe it's just the way she carries weight, I thought. But no. She had a tumor the size of a basketball. Almost died. But she didn't. And then a couple recently, Danny's had tumors. A couple other friends have big tumors. All in their bellies. Hey, ladies. Tumors eat glucose only. Stop eating fucking sugar. Stop getting tumors. Simple as that. Even if you're predestined to have tumors. Mama had tumors, grandma had tumors. That's cool. But if they don't have sugar to eat from, glucose, well, they can't grow. They need to stay a little fucks. And then who cares? It's the sugar. Keep telling you, no one listens. I'm getting real tired of it. Even in my own fam. I keep telling them, not just my fam, my friends and fam, extended fam, like older relatives. I tell them I'm watching them. I see them all. You see them all. And they're doing the thing that's killing them. It's literally killing them. Okay? And then what's worse is most likely they're on medicine. Okay? And the medicine is also killing them. So the medicine is supposed to help whatever, treat the symptom, but it's also fucking killing them somewhere else slowly. And I'm like, you can get off that medicine in no time. No one ever does. Nobody ever fucking listens. Nobody. I'm like, you can get off that medicine in a month. Easy. And I go, yeah, cool. No one cares. They prefer to stay on medicine. It fucking baffles me. I have no, I don't know why. I'm like, if you could get off medicine, like pharmaceutical drugs, man-made pharmaceutical drugs, then do it. Like, I take supplements. People be like, well, you take tons of pills a day. And I'm like, I do. By choice. And all of these supplements are things found mostly inside my own body or my body specifically fucking needs. None of what I take, except for a fucking allergy med, which I am slowly finding I'm not needing. I was on such a high dose of allergy meds, fucking ridiculous. I was on a double dose prescription and a nose spray. I no longer take the nose spray since I started changing up my diet, and I have cut the double dose in half. Hey, man, I don't know what to tell you. Mostly everything that's wrong with you is food related. It's simple as that. You got brain issues? It's probably your fucking food. You got gut issues? It's your fucking food. And when you got a nerve, literally, that runs between your gut and your brain. As soon as you feed it, it affects the brain. Instantly, the vagus nerve. You can look it up. Not Vegas, not Las Vegas, but like Vegas. I think it's VAGA. Vagus nerve. But directly, all that shit's fucking linked. And I keep telling people, especially the older folks, I'm more concerned about the older folks than the younger folks because, well, they got time. They got time. The old folks, they don't. If they changed everything right now, boom, they could live so much longer. And not even, maybe they won't live longer. But the quality of life they'll live while living longer is going to be better. Did you know this? Okay, life expectancy increased in our time. Health expectancy is decreased or something. I don't know if it's health expectancy is what they call it, but basically your health span. So lifespan is longer, health span is not. So we're able to live longer, but the time we're living longer is shittier. So that's why so many people are like, well, fuck it. I'm not going to live longer. If it's just going to be shitty, I'm going to eat fucking cheeseburgers and my candies then. If I'm going to just die young, I'll do whatever I want. I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's one way to look at it. It's a complete misconception, but you can do whatever the fuck you want. You're a grown man. But it ain't true. What's true is if you live longer and eat better, you're going to have a higher quality of life as you live longer. If you live longer and eat shit, you're going to be that shit. It doesn't matter. It's not going to kill you any quicker. Well, it might. It probably will. But if it doesn't, you're still going to live miserable later. So why don't you try to extend your life and your health, is what I'm saying. No one fucking listens. Start listening. Start teaching your parents, your kids. Get away from the sugars. Get away from the shitty oils. Don't be scared of meat. That's all I'm saying. People are so misinformed. Okay? This is how misinformed people are. It's not that they're misinformed. It's they're purposely misinformed. For sales. It's always been for sales. Since the 60s, 40s, when they started saying fat was bad, and it's not, it was sugars, you can directly see tons of charts from the 60s, 40s on, 40s, 60s on, And as soon as they started getting away from fats as a healthy, and we're like, no, grains are healthy, you can see heart attacks went up. You can see all the charts. Cancers went up. Depressions went up. Anxieties went up. Bipolar disorder, ADHDs went up. You can say, oh, well, they're testing better. No, that helps for a percentage, not overall. When there's studies that proved in the 40s, 50s, 60s that grains were causing these heart attacks and they were just avoided to make sales, all bets are off. All bets are off. They don't give a fuck. They just wanted money. So you can say, well, the industry says this. The industry doesn't give a fuck. You have to do your own research. Or you just listen to me. And just, that's the way it is. Because I'm fucking telling you. And I am definitely better for you than the industry. I'll fucking tell you that. Yeah. Speaking of the industry, just to show you how fucked they are. Just to show you. Okay. Have you ever heard of, there's this locally, you might not have, because this is local. I think it's local. Just a local chain of restaurants called Subway. Now, if you haven't heard of Subway, they like to have this campaign, Eat Fresh. Now, Subway's had that campaign a couple years now. 90s? Fuck, 30 years maybe? Eat Fresh. Even when the pedophile was promoting it. Yeah. Subway had pedophiles promoting their shit. But that's cool. They didn't know. He's in jail now. But even still, I don't think I'm ever eating at Subway again. Every time I hear something about Subway, I'm like, are you again? Is it even real food? Okay, first I've it's fact that their chicken isn't even real chicken, right? So you're getting oven roasted chicken breast. That ain't chicken breast. Not even real chicken. It's a mix of fucking crap. Eat Fresh? What? And then, just recently, I found out that Subway, thank God no longer, there was a campaign that took place with like hundreds of thousands of signatures to force Subway to finally take their bread, which shouldn't even be considered fucking bread. No, I'm going to save this one for last. I'll save the best for last. What I also found out before the best for last is their bread in general isn't bread. It isn't bread. It's considered a dessert. Eat Fresh with dessert bread? It's like over the amount of sugar that is added to the bread is so high that they're like, the government, I think, said you can't call that bread. That has to be a dessert now. And they're like, oh shit, we've been doing it for 30 years. And they're like, yeah, you probably caused a lot of heart attacks and cancers and obesity, really, because you encouraged eating your fucking subs 3 times a day. You're encouraging eating sugar bread 3 times a day, and they're probably getting chicken that's not even real fucking chicken. Okay. You know what? That's the market. I honestly don't care. If Subway was to just come in and be like, hey man, this is 100% sugar. 100% sugar. We just take meat and we sprinkle 100% sugar over the top to form a little crust that we'd like to call bread. I'm like, cool, man. And as long as people are buying it, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, that's fantastic. It's, you found a market. But you're telling people it's sugar. That's the big thing. That's all I care about. As long as you're telling them that straight up what they're taking is toxic. Now, for the piece de resistance of fucking Subway. They had to have a campaign to stop them from doing this. So I'm sure they knew about it beforehand. Well, of course they knew about it. But I mean, okay. It's so fucking, I don't even understand. So, okay, you know Subway bread? Of course you do. You eat fresh, right? You're a connoisseur. You're a healthy person, right? So of course you eat fresh. Okay, you might not after this. I'm so sick of Subway. Like, they don't care. They'll do it until they get caught, basically. So they got caught doing this and then they stopped. They had to have over hundreds of thousands of signatures to stop them from doing this. So their bread is pretty much perfect. You get the same type of bread every time. You want an Italian loaf? You get the Italian every time. You want the herb and cheddar or whatever the fuck it is? It's that same every time. And you look at it through like the bread portion. If you not look at the crust, if you look at the actual bread portion, it's pretty uniform all the way through. No big air bubbles. You know, you cook bread, you get big fucking air bubbles sometimes. That's how you know you have real good bread. Is sometimes it's just they don't look the same. Every loaf's different. Well, Subway didn't like that. They didn't like having weird looking bread, ununiform bread. So what did they do? How are you going to have perfectly even bread every time? Well, that's easy. It's super easy when you don't give a fuck about your patrons' health. When you're just out there trying to make a buck. An extra buck instead of fucking just making fresh bread every day. Like, bread isn't expensive anyway. It's super cheap to make, especially on a scale they could do it in. It'd be pennies. Pennies. But no. They got to save more money. They got to make it look better. So what did they do? They threw in a chemical. Not strange. Sure, you've heard other companies throwing chemicals in their food. You see them on the back labels. You're like, I'm not surprised. Chemicals are in everything, Brian. You're not scaring me, bud. Well, we'll see. They threw in a chemical that is the same chemical to make the perfect little bubbles in yoga mats. You heard me right. They were legit putting in chemicals that make yoga mats. Same material to make that perfect air bubbles every time in their fucking bread. I am not shitting you. They had to have a petition. Stop these motherfuckers. It's ridiculous. And then I think after that, they finally, once they got that petition, they went ahead with that non-steroid, non-hormone on the meat shit. I'm like, your meat's not even real. What the fuck's the difference? Like, you're not steroiding the real part? That's only like 50% of your fucking sandwich. Not even. You got dessert bread, which that hasn't changed. It's still dessert bread. So you got dessert bread with 50% chicken and shitty lettuce. Like, who gets lettuce at Subway? If you get lettuce at Subway, you're a piece of shit. Spinach only. Why would you get water on your sub? That's all that shitty iceberg lettuce is. It's just water. It's just wetting down your sub. Gives it a little crunch, I guess. But if you're going for crunch, spinach. It's a million times better if you're trying to eat fresh. Then get the spinach. If you're not trying to eat fresh, then go to fuck to McDonald's. Because gram for gram, McDonald's is honestly better for you than Subway. Wendy's, Burger King, all better for you than Subway. You get one burger versus one sub burger, better for you. Almost all the restaurants now are using high quality beef. So just having that much protein, the bun is shit, but at least it's not a sugar fucking bun. You know, if these restaurants started offering smaller buns or reduced sugar buns, fuck, man. They would start getting into the market. You know what I mean? They need to get away from sugar. And that's where the answers are. And that's how you get fast food restaurants to finally help out. Like, they're mostly the cause. I'm fucking shifting. I'm shifty. Mostly the cause of all this nonsense, but they could help. They could help if they just put in options, man. Allow people to eat better. Have a bun that's fucking reduce sugar. I'm not concerned about the fat. Don't add fat. Change your fats up. Cook with better fats in your restaurants. Reduce sugar in your items. And I'd be more happy with fast food. Seriously. But I'm pretty sure I'm fucking done with Subway. You got pedophiles and sugar breads and yoga mats and fake chicken. Like, what else is fucking... Is there anything there real? I think just the spinach. And even then, I'm not sure. It's probably just fucking a plastic plant. They figured out how to make one of those plastic plants grow. And then they're just chopping leaves off of it. They're like, this is way cheaper. Whatever, man. I haven't had Subway in forever for these reasons, I think. There's so many better options to eating healthy on the go. Subway sure as fuck is not one. Subway? Go fuck yourself. Don't eat there. That's just my opinion, but if I was you, I wouldn't eat there. I'm not you, but, you know, I don't know at all. Sometimes I know things and sometimes I don't, but a lot of times I know other things that you may not or may do. Holy fuck, bros. Okay. It's been literally a week since we talked. Sometimes I come in here and I'm like, oh, fuck, man. I don't know what happened last week. Not this week, man. I feel like my life has changed in 1 week. Literally. Okay. I talked about handstands. Have I? I'm doing handstands. But I didn't realize just picking a challenge of doing handstands would absolutely change my life. Like, I'm pretty sure now this is a lifelong change. And you're like, what, fucking handstands, man? No. Not handstands. But what handstands are a part of. So when I started getting into handstands, I was like, okay, right? You got to learn the steps, right? So I'm doing the steps. I'm always doing the steps. I live, breathe, sleep the steps. I'm the steps guy. I'm selling steps on the side. Who wants to buy steps? If you want steps after this podcast is over, hit me up through Instagram, Facebook, email, Messenger. I'll sell you some steps cheap. Don't worry about it. I'll fucking sell them on the side. We don't have to tell anybody. secret. It's just me and you time right now. But I've been doing the steps. And handstands are getting easier, man. I can do 2-3 second handstands, no problem. Almost all the time. I'm going to pull away from the wall here soon and just start doing them. I just don't have any room to do them in the wide open. I'm fucking crashing to everything. I need a place where I can learn how to bail out. This fucking place is too small. I need to wait for summer in a field or something. You know what I mean? But anyway, these handstands, man, changed my life because I'm like, okay, I'm looking at videos. And you know how YouTube is. They want that algorithm, right? They want to see what else can keep me glued to my screen for hours. And they're like, hey, you like handstands? And I'm like, yeah, I like handstands. And they're like, you'll love planche push-ups. And I'm like, yep, I love planche push-ups. You know it. And then they're like, well, you like planche push-ups. You'll like planche to handstand push-ups. And I'm like, oh, fuck, buddy. You know I'd love planche to handstands push-ups. And they're like, oh, you love that? Well, you're going to love muscle-ups. And I'm like, but no, muscle-ups are out of my realm. And they're like, not if you can do those planche push-ups. I'm like, oh, what? And they're like, yeah, man. Once you do muscle-ups, you can do a muscle-up to a jump up on the bar. And I'm like, what? No. And they're like, it's all the steps. You just got to learn the steps. I'm like, the steps, bro? And they're like, yep. And I'm like, how much you selling them for? And they're like, free. And I'm like, what? Like, I got to sell my steps to get by. But they're just giving their steps away for free on YouTube to do all these cool things. L-sits, pistol squats, muscle ups. And I'm like, what is this fantastic breed of exercises? Calisthenics. And I am fucking hooked like a motherfucker. And I haven't been this sore in years. I'm using muscles and fibers and tendons I didn't know existed. Everything is already like fuck off, Mike. My shoulders are starting, I feel like they're bigger. And not just at the gym. Like, I've been doing this a week and I feel like they're more defined. I'm like, holy shit, bro. Everything is stiffening up. My legs. I'm like, but it's all from this calisthenics, right? All body weight shit. I'm still going to hit big muscle heavyweight. But I think I'm dropping out. Like, I think I'll only hit like, I don't know. Maybe I'll hit, this is what I'm thinking. I'm fucking hooked. I am hooked. This is a drug. I don't know why. I don't know how. It just looks so fantastic. And the guys that are doing them fit as shit. Like, they're not bodybuilders, but they're ripped. And that's where I want. I don't want to be huge. I just want to be ripped. That'd be fucking fantastic. And man, these calisthenics moves are fucking phenomenal. They almost look superhuman. Like, you Google it, get on the YouTubes and punch in calisthenics. 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 And look at some of the fucking routines on this. Like, you can look at some of the park guys that are just fucking around. It's like parkour. And I love the look of parkour. But I do not love the look of me running and jumping over 2 buildings. No. But I do love the look of me doing a handstand, a planche push-up, an L-sit, a muscle-up. Those shits are awesome. And I'm going to do them. I'm going to do them all. And I'm practicing, and I'm going to fucking bang them all together. And it's going to look phenomenal. Phenomenal. I think, anyway. Honestly, I don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. This all started for me, honestly, just wanting to walk on my hands. What do I say? I say it almost all the time. Learn something new, right? And it grows. It so fucking grows, it's not even funny. It's just one tiny seed of a shit, and it'll grow. I wanted to walk on my hands. I had no idea what that encompassed. None. I was just like, I just want to walk on my hands. So whatever that takes. And you know what that takes? Steps. So you just got to find step one. Sometimes you think you're doing step one and you're like, oh, fuck. I need to learn a completely different thing before I even do this thing. So you got to keep looking at things. Don't just be like, that's step one and that fuck everything else. I'm not even going to look at anything else and try to learn anything else. No. Keep looking at shit. You're like, I want to do handstands. Well, keep looking at different ways to do handstands. That's what I did. That's how you go down that hole. Is not just by looking. Go one person, boom, this is how you do a handstand, and there's no other ways. I'm like, okay. But he might not talk about certain things, certain aspects, and you got to learn your hand flexion. What if he didn't tell that, the hand? And he's like, you just got to pop up and hold yourself. You're like, oh, it's that easy, eh? When it doesn't tell you that you got to keep everything locked out. Don't let your shoulders drop. The shoulder with the power, blah, blah, blah. You know, there's tons of steps that you're probably not even thinking of. Every time I see a steps video, there's steps in between the steps that I'm like, oh, I'm not going to just jump to the next step. I could do it with this little extra. That'll make it a little easier. They do it because they're professionals. They just jump step, 10-step program. Really, for me, it's like a 15-step. For you, it might be more, maybe less. Maybe it's a 3-step. Maybe you're fucking champion. But there's always steps. Steps to everything. Steps to everything. For sure. Like, even if you want to learn how to read a book, you're like, what? Learn how to read a book. You just read a book. You just read a book. Like, well, what if you didn't know? And the first step to learning how to read a book is, well, you'd be like, well, you got to learn how to read. Right? You're like, oh, fuck, I never even thought of that. Yeah, be like, yeah, because you already know that step. Right? That's an automatic for you. But for some people, they don't know that step. Like, you told a kid that, he'd be like, oh, well, I don't know how to read. And you're like, oh, I'll teach you how to read. And you're like, okay. And you go to teach them how to read, and then you're like, oh, fuck. You don't even know your letters. I'm like, yeah, I got to teach you your letters. That's step one. You're like, fuck. I thought step one was just read the book. And now you're 2 steps even back. And it could be even further. You're like, I don't know my letters. You don't know your sounds. Nothing. So it's a multiple step process. Everything's multiple steps. Break it down. Don't just be like, I'm going to do this. Okay, what's the steps to do that? What's the steps? Is it just do that? You can probably a lot of times just do that. But I mean, to get better at it, steps, bro. Little tiny steps. You need a pedometer of life. That's what you need. A pedo of life. Wait, no. That's a different pedo. You need a pedometer of life. Count your steps. Wouldn't that be fucking fantastic to have? Something that maybe on your phone, an app, a life app for steps. And anytime, it could just hear you, right? Same as it always does. It hears you now. Like, why? Instead of just offering us, like, it hears us and offers us stuff to buy. Oh, you heard me talk about butts? Now, on my phone is going to blow up with butt plugs now because of this episode, right? But instead of that, why couldn't they just offer us like helpful information and give us the steps? And they're like, hey, I heard you talking about handstands. Actually, step 1 is this. Oh, fuck. You'd be like, well, I know that one. What's step 2? You're like, fuck. Like, they would have the steps, not what you think steps are. Like, this is the step. Like, you thought it was 10 steps to do a handstands? Here's 100. You're like, holy fuck. You're like, maybe I'll jump right to 50. But the more steps you can break it down into, the easier everything becomes. Everything. Life is just all steps. One step at a time. You want to be a doctor? Easy. Start that step. What's the step? You got to go to med school? No. You just got to do good in real school. First, how do you do good in real school? Well, you learn how to read and do your ABCs. That's the first step to becoming a doctor, is learning your motherfucking ABCs. Same as everybody else. Everyone starts that same step, I guess. Well, there's other people that don't learn ABCs. They learn characters and stuff. So I guess they can't be doctors. No, that's not true. But you know what I'm saying. Everyone starts the same spot, and your life determines which steps you take and which steps you make. And that's the facts of life. That's the facts of life. And fuck. Yeah. Do the steps, man. Do the steps. Okay, I'm fucking done. Rambling on all week. All episode. I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. From butts to fucking ABCs. Bag milk covers it all. Fuck yeah. I'm out.